The Dallas Cowboys might be about to pull off one of the boldest moves in NFL draft history. From pick 12 to pick 3, chasing the top edge rusher David Bailey. If this trade happens, it could instantly reshape their defense, and the league will be watching every second. But here's the twist: not everyone agrees this move is even possible. The draft rumors surrounding the Dallas Cowboys are heating up, and it's not just talk. Sources are buzzing about a potential move that could shock the entire league, Dallas trading from pick 12 all the way up to pick 3. The target? Edge rusher David Bailey, one of the most talked about prospects this year. But here's the thing: nobody has all the answers, and that's where the drama begins. Todd McShay, one of the NFL's top draft insiders, has been dropping hints that the situation is more complicated than it looks. On one hand, there's chatter that the Arizona Cardinals might be willing to trade down, but conflicting reports suggest they could also be pushing for a player like Jeremiah Love. Some insiders say Love is the pick at 5, while others claim Arizona is keeping their options open. The Cowboys' interest in moving up, it's real, but the exact details are murky. And it's not just hearsay. The Cowboys sent a massive contingent of scouts and coaches to Texas Tech, skipping other pro days including Ohio State, showing they're laser-focused on what could be a high-stakes gamble. When teams put that much effort into watching a single prospect, it's rarely casual. Reports suggest that the front office isn't just looking at Bailey's talent, they're looking at fit, chemistry, and the immediate impact he could have on their defense. Yet even with all this intel, nothing is confirmed. Some fans believe the Cowboys could pull off a trade for Bailey with a third-round pick as a sweetener. Others argue the numbers don't add up and a top 3 move might be out of reach. And that tension, that mix of conflicting reports, insider chatter, and visible scout activity, is exactly what makes this draft so unpredictable. One thing is certain: where there's smoke, there's fire. The Cowboys aren't known for half measures, and if they're considering a move this bold, it's because they see the potential to completely change the trajectory of their defense. But here's the catch: while the whispers are loud, the final decision could still flip everything on its head. Now let's break down how this possible Cowboys trade could actually work, and why it is everyone talking. Trading from pick 12 all the way up to pick 3 isn't just bold, it's a calculated risk. Analysts are turning to trade value charts to figure out whether Dallas could realistically pull this off. These charts assign a numerical value to each draft pick, giving teams a rough benchmark for what counts as fair compensation. But here's the catch: these charts aren't gospel. They're a guide, not a guarantee, and teams often make decisions based on strategy, need, and gut instinct. Pick 3 is worth roughly 2,443 points on the standard trade chart. Pick 12, that comes in at 1,741 points. Right off the bat, that leaves a 702-point gap that Dallas would need to fill to make the deal appealing. Enter the potential sweeteners. A top 100 pick like number 92, plus maybe a 5th rounder or 2, could close the gap. Suddenly, a move from 12 to 3 doesn't sound quite as crazy. It's feasible, but it's still high stakes. The Cowboys aren't just chasing numbers, they're chasing impact. Reports suggest they aren't interested in a project player who needs time to develop. They want someone who can step onto the field immediately, make an impact, and fit seamlessly into a fluid, complex defensive scheme. That's why a top edge rusher like David Bailey is worth the risk. And it gets even more interesting. The Arizona Cardinals, holding pick 3, are reportedly in a rebuild. They may be motivated to accumulate more picks and assets rather than cling to a single player. That dynamic makes this trade even more plausible and even more dramatic. But here, the tension: even if the math works and the interest is real, nothing is official. The Cowboys could still decide to trade down, hold their spot, or pursue a completely different strategy. Every piece of intel, every scout visit, and every insider whisper could shift the board in an instant. And just when you think you've figured out the trade value, a single report could turn the entire draft upside down. Now let's dive into why this potential move isn't just about numbers, it's about strategy. The Cowboys have been methodically rebuilding their defense over the past year, and every pick is a piece of a bigger puzzle. If they pull off a trade from pick 12 up to pick 3 for David Bailey, it wouldn't just be bold, it would be a masterstroke. Think of it as a Texas two-step, 2 moves that could transform the defense instantly. First, get Bailey at 3, a top-tier edge rusher who can disrupt offenses from day 1. Then, at pick 20, draft Jacob Rodriguez, a player from the same defense and system as Bailey. The synergy between the two could be immediate. It's not just talent evaluation, it's chemistry. Both players understand how to play in an interconnected system. Coaches love that. Having 2 defenders who already know how to operate together could turn a promising defense into a dynamic, fluid unit overnight. It's the kind of planning that separates good teams from great ones. But the Cowboys have to weigh risk. Some analysts call picking Rodriguez at 20 a reach, but it's a calculated one. When you combine talent, familiarity, and scheme fit, the payoff could be massive. They aren't just filling holes, they're shaping the defense they want to run. And this is where things get complicated. Every insider has slightly different intel. Some say Arizona might trade down, others say they're pushing for different players. Conflicting reports create uncertainty, but one thing is clear: the Cowboys are in position to be aggressive. Reports also indicate that the Cowboys sent a huge contingent of scouts and coaches to Texas Tech, skipping other pro days entirely. That's a signal they're serious. They're studying every angle, measuring every variable, preparing to make a calculated risk that could either pay off huge or leave questions. This is about more than just draft picks, it's about vision. The Cowboys aren't just reacting, they're orchestrating a strategic dance, aligning pieces to create a defense that can dominate immediately. But even with all the pieces in place, one wrong move could turn this carefully choreographed plan into chaos. To truly understand why the Cowboys might make such an aggressive draft move, you have to look at the roster. It's not just about adding talent, it's about filling very specific, impactful roles. The team has only 1 or 2 real starter spots left to address, meaning every pick carries enormous weight. The Cowboys aren't looking to draft for depth alone, they're looking for instant contributors, players who can step in and elevate the defense immediately. Outside linebacker is an area of focus. With Rashan Gary and Donovan Ezra projected as the starting duo, the Cowboys know exactly where they need reinforcements. But beyond just plugging holes, they're building a defense that's complex and fluid. This isn't your standard static scheme. They want a unit that can disguise coverages, shift looks before and after the snap, and challenge opposing quarterbacks at every turn. That's why their approach to the draft is so targeted. The philosophy is clear: quality over quantity. Analysts note that in recent years, the Cowboys have only hit on 1 or 2 draft picks per class, outside of last year's solid group. That history informs this year's strategy. They can't rely on high-volume drafting to fill gaps. Every selection must have a high probability of success. That's why top-tier players like David Bailey or Jacob Rodriguez aren't just talent acquisitions. They're foundational pieces for the system the Cowboys are building. Rookie readiness is also critical. The Cowboys want players who understand complex schemes and can function almost like facilitators on the field. Rodriguez, for example, has quarterback-level awareness for defensive positioning, making him a rare commodity in this draft. This approach also allows veteran leaders to integrate seamlessly, maintaining a balance of experience and youth. And here's the tension: while the Cowboys have precise targets, conflicting intel about other teams and prospects keeps everything in flux. Every decision carries risk, and a misstep could disrupt the delicate balance they're trying to achieve. The roster's current construction, combined with a sharp focus on high-impact, scheme-ready talent, makes this draft a high-stakes, high-reward scenario. Because in a draft this tight, one wrong pick could unravel the Cowboys' entire plan before the season even starts. Now here, where things get truly fascinating and high stakes for the Cowboys. The defense they're building isn't just about stacking talent, it's about crafting a system that's fluid, unpredictable, and multidimensional. Analysts have been buzzing about this, and it's not an exaggeration. We could be looking at one of the most complex rookie-ready defenses in the league. Think about it, this isn't a plug-and-play setup. The Cowboys are planning a unit that changes its look before and after the snap, disguises coverages, and adapts on the fly. That requires players who don't just follow instructions, they need to read, react, and facilitate in real time. Most rookies can't do that. But the targets the Cowboys have in mind, like Jacob Rodriguez, have quarterback-level awareness on the defensive side, giving them a rare ability to operate in a high-level, interconnected system from day one. This strategy also explains why the Cowboys may prioritize fewer, higher-impact picks over quantity. Last year's draft class had solid contributors, but historically Dallas has only found 1 or 2 true starters per class. By focusing on top-tier talent, the Cowboys are increasing the odds that every pick contributes meaningfully to this complex system. Rookie camp bodies will still come from later rounds, but the foundation, the high-impact, high-IQ players, is what sets the tone. Edge rushers like David Bailey and scheme-savvy defenders like Rodriguez could be instant difference-makers, creating a dynamic core around which the defense can rotate and adapt. It's a long-term vision masked as a short-term draft strategy. Every snap, every coverage, every movement on the field will be interconnected, demanding precision and football intelligence. And here's the kicker: while the system promises upside, it comes with massive risk. One player who struggles to grasp the complexity or one pick that doesn't hit could create gaps that opposing offenses will exploit. The The Cowboys are essentially betting that their careful, calculated draft moves and coaching intel will yield a defense that operates like a well-oiled machine from day one. But even with all the pieces in place, one rookie misstep could unravel this intricate defense before the season even begins. As the Cowboys approach this draft, everything comes down to one central question. How much risk are they willing to take for a potential game-changing reward? It's one thing to discuss trades, prospects, and draft metrics, but when you combine all of that with the team's actual roster construction, the stakes become real, tangible, and very, very high. Every move carries weight, and the margin for error is razor-thin. Fans are buzzing, and not without reason. Some believe this aggressive approach, trading up from number 12 to 3, targeting players like David Bailey, could completely reshape the defense. Others worry that taking big swings could backfire, leaving the team exposed if a rookie isn't ready for such a complex system. It's the classic risk versus reward dilemma, but magnified by the Cowboys' history. With only a handful of recent draft hits, every pick matters more than ever. Insider intel hints at conflicting priorities within the organization, adding to the drama. There are voices pushing for the best player available at number 3, while others focus on positional needs and long-term planning. That internal tension creates a chess match behind the scenes, a battle between immediate impact and strategic patience. And every rumor, every leaked report, fans dissect endlessly online, creating a storm of speculation and expectation that can shape the narrative before a single snap is played. The fan conversation itself has become part of the spectacle. Social media is alive with hot takes, trade predictions, and debates over which rookie could make the biggest splash. Some argue that Dallas' history of hitting or missing in the draft heightens the pressure. Others claim the Cowboys' front office has the firepower and vision to pull off a bold, calculated move. Either way, the tension is palpable. Every scout, every coach, every analyst has an opinion, and every fan is waiting to see which one proves right. Ultimately, the Cowboys are walking a tightrope between genius and gamble. They're betting on high IQ players, intricate schemes, and strategic trades, but the potential downside is very real. One miscalculation, one rookie struggling to grasp the complexity, and the entire plan could unravel. The next few weeks aren't just about picks, they're about the organization putting everything on the line. And as fans debate and rumors swirl, one thing is certain. The Cowboys' bold gamble could either ignite a dynasty or crumble spectacularly before the season even begins. And here, where it all comes together and where the tension hits its peak. The Dallas Cowboys' offseason strategy, their draft maneuvers, and the potential trades are more than just numbers on a chart or mock draft predictions. This is a calculated, high-stakes gamble with massive implications for the franchise's future. Every fan, every analyst, and every insider is trying to read the signals, but the truth is, the full picture is still hidden. Consider the scenarios. Trading up to number 3 could land them David Bailey, a player who could redefine their defensive front. Holding on to the 20th pick could bring Jacob Rodriguez into a system designed to challenge even veteran players. Using a third-round pick creatively could net a key veteran linebacker or allow flexibility to move around the draft. Each move alone is significant. Combined, they form a bold blueprint for a defense that's as intricate as it is potentially dominant. But with that blueprint comes risk, high-caliber rookies in a complex system, plus pressure to perform from day one means one misstep could unravel everything. Fans have been vocal, theories are flying, and social media is buzzing with every rumor. Some believe this is Dallas' moment to pull off a masterstroke, others warn of a gamble too risky to pay off. Yet that's exactly what makes this story so compelling, the uncertainty, the drama, and the stakes. The Cowboys aren't just drafting players, they're drafting a narrative that will unfold over the season with consequences that could echo for years. This is why your perspective matters. Will they succeed, or will the complexity of their plan backfire? Could a single decision in these next few weeks set the tone for the entire season? The answers aren't clear, but the suspense is real. The draft isn't just about picks, it's about strategy, vision, and calculated risk, and the Cowboys are all in. Because when the dust settles on draft night, every fan, every insider, and every analyst will be watching to see if Dallas' bold gamble becomes a masterstroke or a costly mistake.